still has not hit from deep.
It's a good miss, though.
Oh my goodness. Shot he's taking.
But there's more to the story there. It doesn't matter whether he makes it or not.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
Powell and Lubin, and here's Powell with Trumbo live.
There's no calling out plays using your voice in this barn tonight. Drake Powell, one of the top freshmen.
50-year players on the floor, American. It's not a team built with transfers. Great find by Rogers in 16 now from the field. Cadillo splits the two.
Powell coming off the bench. So as a starter, you don't have a choice but to perform.
Nice pass underneath in the finish.
Ball sideline.
Yeah, one of the great things he said was he wouldn't leave, as you see the three from the corner by Drake Powell. They needed that. Left corner. This is Powell.
Giveaway possessions. Bruce Pearl going to a 1-3-1 zone defensively, changing it up on North Carolina coming out of the timeout.
Powell from the mid-range. Powell. What a finish. But recall that he pushed Washington into that pin.
To the hunter, and I think that's what the Carolina Tar Heels are going to have to be able to take on a better mentality at the beginning of games.
Powell. Between these two name brand squads, a takeaway by Davis. Ahead to Powell and North Carolina. Half points here on Maui. Deep corner three, and the Fralman to be the conductor here with Jeremy Fears on the bench. An open look for Powell. Great ball movement by North.
All their different shot types, etc. You're seeing it more and more in the college game.
Yeah, but also, Nate Oates has higher guys from the NBA. You see the great pass right there. Under control, ball fakes. He is looking at me. He just winked at me. Oh, my goodness.
Now inside, hangs it in. Nelson puts it on the floor. Carolina back the other way. Powell puts it in.
Tennessee had a chance to tie it or break the record, Tom.
Left hand in
In the paint, the bounce out by Lubin. And a little follow away here. That's going to swish in. Condon into the paint. Zipping it downstairs. And a nice block on that play by Powell.
Shot clock. Nice
switch up.
Yeah, he is tough. Philadelphia.
In the paint, running and playing. They were self-inflicted.
Nice help that time by Trumbo.
And another block underneath by side to Davis. Cadeau out. Powell on a three. Got it.
As R.J. Davis ascends to the top of the Carolina record books.
It's a different story, but Sinani's the one who initiated that contact. So non-shooting foul, no free throws. And when you're talking about Washington, that's part of the issue for Hubert Davis and his staff. There's a real have to produce.
Would you say the ceiling is the roof for Carolina?
Yes, absolutely.
And Chucky Hepburn got caught on a switch and did a really good job of running Jalen Washington out.
Drake Powell pull up pop, got it.
Back-to-back bucket, trying to drive into the paint, get a piece of the paint.
And
just like that.
Pass it off. Drake Powell.
Pat Kelsey's first thing in the post-game press conference is toughness on Noah Waterman. You saw it right there.
Sutter knocked away.
R.J. Davis read that hammer screen action on the backside. Perfect.
Animated coaching from Hubert Davis throughout. Oh, thread the needle. What a cut.
This game, he's been a little up and down, although he scored 11 a game in the two ACC matchups. And typically plays better at home, but he can defend, he can score in transition, he can make threes.
There's, of course, a little bit of talking back and forth, but they both talk about just being in the presence of great. So what a rejection there.
They've still made good use of the advantage at the free throw line.
All day. Rainbow make.
Also got Chuck Harris off the bench. He's a talented scorer, averaging 11.4 for Coach Enfield. Three out of the corner by Powell. Knocks down long three. 20-13. Here's a kick to the right wing. Powell tees up another one. Sure. Yugitolu against Belal and Lubin. And a double team. Don't forces the turnover. 5 of them now for the Mustangs. And Cadeau off the Powell pass.
That's perfectly executed, Wes.
Carolina by 14. Powell trying to take Cross off the bounce. Fights through and scores. What a tough move. He's got 7 now. Quick look. Miller had it blocked. Did Edwards. There Taylor. Now Hill. Working against Powell. Blocked away. And Connell a triple. And Washington another rebound for Carolina. Quick outlet Cadeau. Tar Heels transition with Powell. Drake down the lane off the window and in.
Not shoot the basketball well. He's a guy that's putting a lot of work in on the jump shot. But you can see the work is paying off.
Look at this. Powell the length of the floor.
There's stuff on the offensive glass.
Here's Lubin setting the screen. Davis foul line. Leaves it for Powell. Long 3. Good. Jackson in the corner. Powell a shot fake. Drive. Tried to feed Van Allen. He caught it.
You know, getting your defense spread out.
R.J. Davis a feed to Powell, and he knocks in the 3.
He can hit the 3. That has been a real struggle for North Carolina, that particular stat. A mid-range jumper. They hit a lot of 2s.
Turnovers in this game. They average 12 per game. Powell to the rack and throws it down. Oh my! Took issue with that. Here's Powell for 3 and got it. That's a big one. Second differential. And trying to get a steal. Instead, it's a dunk by Lubin. Blocking one.
Forcing him down into the actual screen, but he just got to his spot.
Another assist for Cadeau.
Davis on the switch has Corin defensively. Under 5 to shoot. Powell on the pull-up. Pretty stroke. Jalen Washington hands it back to the point guard Cadeau into the corner. Now that's a better shot for the freshman. A carbon copy offensively to what happened at the Peterson Event Center a couple of weeks ago when Pitt came back to beat the Tar Heels.
Shot selection, and that was a gutsy one there.
And again, the Tigers collapsing on him. Oh, great hands by Jackson. Jackson coming from behind on the theft. Powell tiptoeing through for 2.
Nobody except Trimble actually leads North Carolina in rebounding, which is very rare. Drake Powell utilizing that zone to just slow the game down.
Carlos swatted by Powell.
Not just who you can be beaten by or you're willing to play. At the same time, there are teams out there that, like this team in Carolina,
Enough games to qualify. Starling, long steps, and Powell gets that out of here.
Ball's coming off. And you're not often thinking about blocking out the shooter in that sort of situation.
Neal. That's with a heat check. And Powell offensively. Try to heat up right here off the back of the iron.
But offensive rebound. Drake Powell had 3 of those against NC State. They talked about it being a catalyst.
Attack, attack. Look out. Look out below. Scoring first half with 7 points. Shot clock down to 7. Cadeau with a kick out. Powell wants to heave it and hits it. R.J. Davis continues to move up that list. Year number 5 for him. Washington with the catch will lay it in.
They cut into the lead.
Yeah, Ewan missing a pair. Nice feed. Powell the stuff.
Given the challenges that Miami's faced all year, but he's got tremendous potential.
Does this Powell sizes it up and swishes it in a 3.
Tortured Hokies department most of the night here in Blacksburg, and Powell adds to it.
Chalamet! I didn't actually watch.
Jackson, Powell, another. Nice. Please, sir.
Man almighty.
Yeah, whatever happened in the second half really didn't matter.
Cadeau draws a crowd. The kick to Drake Powell. And the freshman knocks down a 3.
Move to that left hand. He's just a big-time player.
And as Duke fans well know, he's been an extraordinary second-half player in games.
To the 3 in this one. Powell on the attack and drops it in. Consecutive first half of scoring at least 42 points.
On the run out, Powell to lay it in, and that's a North Carolina.
Production out of F to read on the interior as of late, but it's normally going to be those two guys that have to get the job done in the scoring column.
Big Powell kind of allowed to do. The X-ray was negative. He's responded well to treatment, but not going tonight. And there's the slam by Powell. By bracketology with breakdowns of each region. Then at 8, the women's bracket of 68. Proctor knocked away and stolen by Cadeau. He's got Powell, and he'll lay it in, and a foul.
Seth Trimble, and the Tar Heels come up empty. This is Boyd, the orchestrator, changes direction. They got him at the rim. It was Powell.
That up-tempo game like Carolina wants to play, and I'm not sure it's to their advantage.
Into the corner. Powell with a three-point answer.
That's a great job getting back defensively. Cadeau. Powell aims three. Good. Davis trying to work his way in. Cadeau. Murray is there.